I'll tell you what we're not going to do. We're not going to allow that.
Can we just like call a spade a spade? Racism has been impacting the WNBA well before this year. This is not a new thing. Sure. This is, and in that way, I do think Caitlin's being used as a pawn. Caitlin didn't bring racism to the WNBA. This has been happening. And that, I think...
The WNBA stands at a pivotal moment, and its handling of Caitlin Clark has laid bare a surprising rift within the league. Just days ago, legendary point guard Sue Bird made headlines on her podcast, subtly confirming what many fans have long suspected. The WNBA's leadership may be intentionally sidelining its most promising rising star.
Fouled. 3 free throws coming as Anya Nwede.
That's what's so hard about defending Caitlin Clark with her 3, because you want to crowd her. You risk of fouling her on those shots.
From questionable officiating to orchestrated rivalries, the league seems more invested in managing the narrative than uplifting the player, who has single-handedly ignited a new era of attention for women's basketball. This goes beyond mere competition. It's a clash of power, envy, and a league grappling with the weight of its own rising success.
Minutes all which was called. The question is, will they call it on?
Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise should have marked a golden era for the WNBA. Instead, insiders hint that the league has been quietly working to keep her in check, worried that her overwhelming impact might upend the established order and challenge the league's comfort zone.
Kennedy Carter nearly picks off the man of Taurasi. They'll count the bucket for DT.
Bench, and there's the second foul on Clark. Nickel.
From questionable technical fouls over minor reactions to the lack of promotion surrounding her record-breaking performances, and even subtle jabs from veterans like Sue Bird, there's a growing sense that a coordinated effort is underway to rein in Clark's momentum.
Gonna have to hoist from the logo. An air ball. Felt like Bonner ran into her. He should get into it. Oh, yeah. I mean,
The real question is, why? Is it because she's a white star in a predominantly black league? Because she's too marketable? Or because her rapid success highlights the WNBA's long-standing failure to elevate its own talent? Whatever the reason, one thing is undeniable. The league's treatment of Caitlin Clark is a scandal hiding in plain sight, and fans are starting to speak up. If the WNBA doesn't course correct, it risks alienating the very audience Clark has brought through its doors. Don't miss this explosive breakdown. Like, share, and subscribe to uncover the truth the league doesn't want you to hear.
I mean, honestly, Chelsea did guard me a ton, maybe a couple times. Jackie was usually the defender that was matched up on me, or when Colson came in. And honestly, they're all really good defenders. They're physical, they're strong.
The Rookie of the Year moment that should have been a crowning achievement for Caitlin Clark turned into a glaring snub. When she earned the honor, the league treated it with the excitement of a weather update. No press conference, no fanfare, just a dry social media post. What should have been a celebration felt more like a formality, setting the tone for everything that followed.
And I know Key can attest to this, like when you just have one of those nights where it's just going, everything, especially a record-setting night, and you don't come up with the W. You know, like, man, you know, on my career high night, I had a career high that, you know, and then when we lose, I'm like, did you? Yeah, like I had a...
Now compare that to past Rookie of the Year winners who were celebrated with full media tours, highlight reels, and public praise. The contrast was impossible to ignore. The message was clear. The WNBA wasn't eager to spotlight Clark's success. Fans noticed the slight instantly, with many calling it a calculated move to downplay her impact. And this wasn't just a matter of optics, it was the latest chapter in a growing pattern.
You just have somebody that wants to say a couple things really quick.
So, hi, Coach Sides. This is WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. Do we have the team all together?
Hello.
Yeah, I know you guys are in Connecticut. Well, but good luck in tomorrow's playoff game. And is Caitlin Clark in the room? Caitlin feels like just yesterday when I...
While previous rookies were given primetime exposure and heavy promotion, Caitlin Clark's record-breaking season was met with mere silence from the league's official channels. Even her historic jersey sales, some of the highest in league history, were barely acknowledged. The contrast was glaring. Was this a case of oversight or a deliberate attempt to suppress her rising star? In light of everything that's unfolded since, the answer feels increasingly obvious.
Abby Williams realizing killing time. Bird for 3. So super! Maybe in her last.
The league's cold shoulder wasn't just disrespectful, it felt strategic. By refusing to amplify Clark's success, the WNBA effectively ensured she wouldn't eclipse its established stars. But in doing so, they risked far more, alienating the millions of new fans she had drawn to the game. The backlash was swift, and the narrative quickly took shape. The WNBA didn't just have a rising star, it had a Caitlin Clark problem. If the Rookie of the Year snub was subtle, the treatment Clark's received from referees has been anything but. From questionable technical fouls to blatant no-calls, Clark has faced a level of scrutiny that no other rookie, or even veteran, has had to endure. It's a glaring example of targeting, and it's happening right in front of our eyes.
Everybody has their opinion on who's the Rookie of the Year. And Dawn Staley, great coach, South Carolina, came out and said, but this is expected of Caitlin Clark. She's supposed to be great. She's not the Rookie of the Year. Angel Reese is, because that's a surprise, which to me is wrong, because Angel Reese was the best player on the team that won a national championship in college.
One of the most infamous examples came when Clark was called for a technical foul after lightly tapping the backboard following a missed shot, deemed disrespectful to the game by the referees. Meanwhile, players like Diana Taurasi have openly thrown tantrums without facing any consequences. The double standard is impossible to ignore.
They packed the punch off the bench, and there's the second foul on Clark. The goal.
League apologists may brush this off as mere rookie hazing, but the numbers paint a different picture. Clark leads all rookies in technical fouls, despite being one of the least confrontational players on the court. This isn't about her behavior. It's about something much more telling.
Coach, maybe you could speak to that too, just about what you saw with the offense over the last half of that game as New York tried.
I saw a very physical and aggressive New York team. We know this from being a part of the game for so long that sometimes you get away with stuff when you're physical and aggressive, and they certainly did. It's a shame that officiating had such a hand in a series like this.
Even more damning, the WNBA's own referees have been caught on mic making questionable comments about Clark. As fans began compiling these incidents, a disturbing pattern emerged. Clark wasn't just being officiated, she was being policed.
A falter, cross court, Delaney, catch it.
This isn't just detrimental to Clark, it's a disservice to the entire league. By allowing referees to target its most marketable star, the WNBA is essentially sabotaging its own product. Casual fans tuning in to watch Clark play are instead witnessing a league that seems intent on breaking her down. If this continues, those fans won't stick around for long.
Final 6 seconds. Clark. Sheldon is deep. No, the follow up.
Sue Bird is a WNBA legend, which makes her recent comments about Caitlin Clark all the more troubling. On her podcast, Bird downplayed Clark's historic rookie season, stressing the importance of team play over individual brilliance. On the surface, it might have seemed like typical veteran wisdom, but read between the lines, and it was a thinly veiled criticism of Clark's meteoric rise. Bird's message was clear: know your place.
That actually has to go. That has to go. I understand why at times it's been used. It's kind of just when you're in an interview and you get asked a question, it's kind of easy to go, oh, the FIFA fan base.
Yeah, what do you mean by that? That has to go.
Oh, these new fans. It has to go because it's not the Fever fans. It's not Caitlin fans. That is a large group of people. Let's stick with the Fever for a second. That is a large group of people. And what we're talking about as we get into the meat of this, we're talking about the faction of that group.
This wasn't an isolated incident. Other veterans, including some of Clark's own teammates, have made similar remarks suggesting she's receiving too much attention. The subtext is unmistakable. The old guard feels threatened. Clark's popularity has highlighted the league's failure to market its past stars, and rather than adapting, some are resorting to resentment. Even more troubling, it seems the league is quietly encouraging it.
Then when I saw that Natasha Cloud trade, I was like, oh shit, because now we've already established Indiana made a ton of great moves to put them right at the tippy top. But with New York, they lost a couple of players. They lost Kayla Thornton, they lost Courtney Vandersloot, and yeah, they've brought, other pieces in, Isabel Harrison, but Natasha Cloud for their backcourt, It just gives them some.
Bird's comments weren't just divisive, they were revealing. They showed that Clark's biggest obstacle isn't the opponents she faces on the court, but the politics off it. If the WNBA's legends are turning against its future, what does that say about the league's true priorities?
And you open up your Yahoo, you're going to see WNBA playoff viewership down now that Caitlin is out. And is that somewhat factually accurate? Yes. It's not accurate. Viewership numbers with Caitlin Clark are astronomical. She is a big draw.
Yeah.
She brings in all the things. We know this. We've said this. And yes, the games where she's not playing have lower viewership. But in the WNBA playoffs, and we'll use the semifinals as the example, the